Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a fun latest release from Simon Says Stamp called Cozy Hugs. This release has some super fun and adorable surprises. For our project today, I have this beautiful stamp set with some lovely sentiments and adorable little flowers. It's called the Picnic Floral Sentiment Stamp Set. I have a very bright and colorful card project for you guys using a variety of my Simon Says Stamp positively saturated inks. This is one such design which is very easy to mass produce using multiple color combinations and cards for various occasions. Well, before we take a look at the project, I would really appreciate if you could take a minute to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time I post a new video. Let us take a look at this beautiful stamp set. It's a 4x6 stamp set with a number of sentiments that can be used for multiple occasions. This stamp set is called the Picnic Floral Sentiment Stamp Set, which is part of the Cozy Hugs release. This is compatible with the Picnic Floral Embossing folder, which was part of a card kit by Simon. I think it was the August card kit. Well, we have such beautiful sentiments. I love the font on these sentiments. We have sending love, thinking of you, so many thanks, happy birthday, birthday wishes, missing you, hello, and I love you, all in different fonts and styles. I also have three little floral images and a leaf. For our card today, I will be stamping the flowers on an A2 size card panel using different shades of my Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks. Here I am using a 100-pound white cardstock. Well, here on screen, I don't have all the colors that I used for my stamping. I had initially thought of using a rainbow order of colors but ended up using Citrine, Galaxy, Royal, Lucky, Pine, Sherbet, Cherry, Amethyst, and Sprout. I will leave a link to all of the colors that I used today down in the description box below. I began my stamping with this beautiful yellow color citrine. These positively saturated inks have dense ink on them. I didn't have to stamp the images twice. One stamping was more than enough for a clear and bright stamped image. I like to use my stamping tool to do all of the stamping. You could even use your stamp block instead, but I prefer the stamping tool as it gives me a lot more control when I'm getting all the stamping done. You will also notice here that I have kept the white sheet of cardstock in the center of the stamping tool and I'm holding it in place with some temporary purple tape and my magnets. I did this just to make sure that I don't have to move the sheet every time I stamp a flower very close to the edge of my panel. I can move the tape around if it comes in way of stamping. Using some kind of temporary tape or adhesive is really helpful when you're stamping or ink blending. This helps to hold the panel in place and you can freely do any kind of stamping and ink blending without being worried about the paper shifting. You will see that I have made all of the floral arrangements over the top of the card panel. Now at this point I decided to stamp the sentiment before filling out the background with more flowers. I stamped the sending love sentiment on the lower right hand corner using my VersaFine Onyx Black Pigment ink and Ranger Black Embossing powder over it. Well, always make sure to use your anti-static powder tool before doing any kind of heat embossing. This will make sure that the embossing powder will stick only onto the stamped image and will not get all over your cardstock. Black embossing powder over black pigment ink will definitely give a much more crisp and shiny result. We can now continue to fill the gaps with floral images. Once I was done with all of those big flowers, I used the two tiny flowers to fill in the gaps around the bigger flowers. I used the same exact shades of the positively saturated inks for the smaller flowers. All I'm doing here is filling up the gaps in between those bigger flowers just to make sure that my entire panel is completely filled with colorful floral images. Once I'm done with all of that stamping, we can now use this panel as our card front. I love these bright colors, but at this point I also thought of adding some shine to my card. Instead of using the usual silver gel pen, I'm using a silver sharpie to add dots to the center of each flower and also some silver lines on the petals. I did the same to all of the flowers. These Sharpie markers can also be used to add dots in place of embellishments, which definitely add a pop of color to your card fronts. Another way to add shine to your cards is to add some ink splatters. Here I'm using a metallic watercolor to add golden splatter onto the card front. Well, I have this cardboard box which is one of my Simon's stamp card kit boxes. I like to have a couple of such boxes on hand when I'm planning to add splatters to my card panels or when I plan to use some spray adhesive or even spray paints over stencils. Once I was done with all the metallic splatters, I decided to add a metallic border all around my card panel. For this, all you have to do is drop some paint on your paintbrush, making sure there is not a lot of water in it. Well, you need a more concentrated paint, and all you have to do is drag the tip of the paintbrush over the edge of the card panel. If you want a deeper metallic tone, you could run the paintbrush a second time once the first layer is completely dried. I will set this panel aside for all the metallic watercolor to completely dry before I adhere the panel onto an A2 size note card. For my note card, I have a black cardstock 5.5 by 8.5 inches and scored at 4 1/4 inch. I added a couple of strips of foam tape onto my card front and adhered it onto this pre-folded note card. And we can call this card done. I love how bright and colorful this card looks. The gold metallic border against the black note card is definitely my favorite. Using the same set of positively saturated inks, I created a floral arrangement for the inside of my card too. I used the same 100-pound white cardstock and paired it with a bright green envelope. Well, you can use any bright colored envelopes here. Here's a look at the finished card. I had so much fun creating this project, and I hope you had fun watching it too and got inspired. All the supplies can be found linked in the description box below. Also, don't forget to check out the latest Cozy Hugs release by Simon's Stamp. There's a link to that in the description box below. I would love for you to become a subscriber to my channel, and if you do subscribe or are already a subscriber, please make sure to hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the next time I post. Hit the like button and let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas or suggestions. Also, if you'd like to share your creations with me, tag me on my Instagram at rp_shutterbug. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe.